Inquisitor.
Let's see what we have. It's here. I can feel it.
Yes. Feel it as well.
Probably just a pile of rocks.
I'm sure it's here. Just keep an eye out. There it is. This is all that's left of the altar. We few who travel far, call to me and I will come. Without mercy, without fear.
Cry havoc in the moonlight. Let the fire of vengeance burn. The cause is clear. A very old invocation. Perfectly translated.
Strange that there wasn't an altar like this at Mythal's temple. The temple was a place of justice, but this is different. This was where the elves called to her, spoke to her. Then one day she disappeared, and they had no one to speak to.
Do you need to do this alone?
Don't go too far. I may need your help if there's trouble.
You will perform this mysterious summoning alone, Inquisitor? Very bold.
Just couldn't stay away, could you?
I am eager to see what manner of creature responds to your call. Who would not be?
The voices say it will be Mythal.
And what is Mythal, beyond something thousands of years dead and gone?
They say you can remain.
How very hospitable of them.
You know who I am. The last to drink from your well of sorrows. Come to me, Mythal. Whatever you are, whoever remains, I invoke your name and your power.
Mother.
Mother?
Now, isn't this a surprise?
So this is Mythal.
She is a deceiving witch!
Oh, be a good lass and restrain her.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Of course you know. You drank from the well, did you not?
Then you are Mythal?
If that's true, then I thank you for answering my summons.
You see, girl, those are manners, as you require a demonstration.
I do not understand. How can you be Mythal?
Once I was but a woman, crying out in the lonely darkness for justice. And she came to me, a wisp of an ancient being, and she granted me all I wanted and more. I have carried Mythal through the ages ever since, seeking the justice denied to her.
Then you carry Mythal inside you.
She is a part of me, no more separate than your heart from your chest. What do the voices tell you?
They say you speak the truth.
But what was Mythal? A legend-given name and called a god? Or something more? Truth is not the end, but a beginning. A herald indeed. shouting to the heavens, harbinger of a new age. As for me, I have had many names, but you may call me Flemeth.
Then you're Mythal and Morrigan's mother.
As well as a witch who prolongs her unnatural life by possessing the bodies of her daughters.
That's what you believe, is it?
I found your grimoire, and I am no fool, old woman.
Oh, if only that were so. My daughter ran from me long ago. I've let her be, until now, it seems.
If Mythal is within you, why not reveal yourself?
And to whom should I reveal myself?
To the elves, to everyone?
I knew the hearts of men even before Mythal came to me. It is why she came to me. They do not want the truth, and I am but a shadow, lingering in the sun.
Why did Mythal come to you?
For a reckoning that will shake the very heavens.
And you follow her whims. Do you even know what she truly is?
You seek to preserve the powers that were, but to what end? It is because I taught you, girl. Because things happened that were never meant to happen. She was betrayed as I was betrayed, as the world was betrayed. Mythal clawed and crawled her way through the ages to me, and I will see her avenged! Alas, so long as the music plays, we dance.
I know the name Flemeth. It belongs to an ancient Ferelden legend. It says long ago you left your husband for a lover. Your husband then tricked you, killed your lover, and imprisoned you. Then a spirit came to offer you vengeance. Mythal, that's what you spoke of.
One day someone will summarize the terrible events of your life so quickly. But yes, I was that woman. That is how my tale began.
Flemeth appears in other legends, helping heroes for reasons of her own.
I nudge history when it's required. Other times, a shove is needed.
We summoned you because we need your help.
Against the Magister who grasps beyond his reach. Yes, I know. The voices did not lie, Inquisitor. I can help you. The Altar's Guardian will come. Master the Dragon, and it will be yours to command against Corypheus. Fail and die. Now I have, and she is free to go.
But what of us?
A soul is not forced upon the unwilling, Morrigan. You were never in danger from me.
All things considered, Inquisitor, I now am rather pleased you drank from the well.
That was all rather odd.
Yes, well, Mother has always had that effect on people. Now, I believe, you have a guardian of the altar to master.
Why did it fly off? Will it come back?
It'll come when I summon it. Once. That's enough to fight Corypheus, however. I have my dragon.
Now we need only find Corypheus.
Inquisitor?
The workers are almost done building a lift to the deep roads. No darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
How many quakes have there been since you arrived?
At least 3 big rumblers. And the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at. My feet miss solid ground.
Josephine's report mentioned several lyrium mines were damaged by the quakes.
You'll see what's left of this one on your way down. From what I hear, the other mines are barely holding together.
So you haven't seen any darkspawn up here?
I sharpened my arrows just in case, but they never showed. I'm okay with that.
It's hardly the time for a lyrium shortage. Orzammar's mines need all the protection they can get.
I'd offer to go with you, but someone should keep watch. Plus, I could use the sun, if this storm ever clears. The lift's ready for you. Try not to shift around, and keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
This reminds me of a story.
Shocking.
It's about an impossibly handsome dwarf and his friend who got crowned King of the Nugs.
A Nug King, really.
It's not as good as it sounds. Nugs mostly just shit on the floor and roll in it. Welcome to the deep roads.
We should be wary of raw lyrium.
I'm more worried about finding darkspawn.
Neither is a pleasing prospect.
Dwarves cannot dream, yet they devise the most fascinating inventions.
Not all ideas come from the Fade.
True, but these designs must be inspired by something.
Your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trust Valar, Inquisitor. The Shaperate welcomes you to the deep roads.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a glimpse of your sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
Gotta love real dwarves.
What does a Shaper do exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in lyrium to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
A difficult task.
Are there others around?
There's nothing to be done here but account for the dead. The rest are deeper into the roads. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium mines?
The surface needs lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster, and the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium requires immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
I've read about the Legion of the Dead. Dwarves who fight Darkspawn in service to Orzammar. They commit their lives to the cause and celebrate their own funerals before entering the deep roads.
No matter their sins in life, the Legion die noble deaths.
The Inquisition stands ready to aid Orzammar. Without a steady lyrium supply, things on the surface will get even worse.
Apologies for pushing you. I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp. These roads are dangerous.
An ogre!
I hate the deep roads.
Now's the time to attack! He's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack! Strike now! Now, while it's distracted! It's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack!
You have my gratitude.
If I lost you, I'd never make it out of the deep roads.
I'm sure you would find a way. If the ogre reached this point, the Legion must be overwhelmed. Let us hurry. I will never get used to the stench of Darkspawn. They corrupt everything, even the air. That's the broken seal ahead. It is worse than I thought.
Get those charges to the tunnels! Someone prime the sonic fuses! charges!
Now! Set the charges!
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thetis to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn. Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it, but the work is slow.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
For such a small group, your people have held up well.
The Quakes took a lot of us. Reinforcements will be slow to arrive.
Take cover!
You heard that, yes. The rhythm in the tremors? It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
These quakes are not a natural disaster. They're deliberate. There's an intelligence behind them.
If something is causing them, the strength required would be incredible. What could do that?
Here we go.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity. But now... The text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away. And there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
Our people have a strong connection to the stone. We feel it in a way topsiders cannot.
Shapers have great stone sense, and Volta's better than most. She never gets lost.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
Mysterious songs often lure people to their deaths, or to an archdemon.
This rhythm isn't a song, exactly. It sounds like air flowing through lungs.
Air that can collapse a whole mine.
A mystery worth investigating.
In my experience, no explanation is too strange to consider.
For all we know, that text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until we find the source.
The rhythm I sense in the quakes is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you are. I've been meaning to ask, Inquisitor. Skyhold, how does it... well... hold in the sky?
The old fall into the sky routine.
How do you keep it from floating away?
It's built into a mountain.
Held by the stone, then.
Shaper Volta said you're a veteran of the Blight.
I was a wet-nosed recruit.
But you survived.
Swing your axe long enough, you're bound to hit something.
You must have racked up a few stories.
Maybe when this is all over, I'll have the time and ale to tell them.
Most of Ren's stories end with decapitation.
I'm an efficient guy.
I'd like to know more about the Legion of the Dead.
The Legion's pretty straightforward. We keep the Darkspawn out of Orzammar, and we're sodding good at it. Becoming a Legionnaire is a lifelong oath, one that can't be broken. We celebrate our own funerals before coming to the Deep Roads. As far as our families in Orzammar are concerned, we're already dead. Hence the name.
That's quite the commitment.
It isn't a glamorous life. Every Legionnaire has their own reasons for joining. From the common criminal to the deep lord with illusions of grandeur. All are accepted.
What about you? Why did you join?
I had a responsibility.
A historian and a soldier. That's an unlikely friendship.
What makes you think we're friends?
The bickering.
Fair enough. Volta's got the stones of a silent sister. Doesn't mean I won't give her a hard time.
Thanks for your time.
Good to see you again, Inquisitor. Allow me to introduce Professor Bram Kenrick. He's the reason we're out here.
A pleasure to meet you, Your Worship.
Professor Kenrick teaches at the University of Orlais.
I came on an exchange program from Starkhaven. While in Val Royeaux, I've found something incredible. After 800 years, we may be able to determine the final resting place of the last Inquisitor.
The texts say that Inquisitor Ameridan was a dragon hunter who vanished on his last expedition.
Yes, precisely. I see you've read Lautrec's Precursors to the Chantry. Inquisitor Ameridan stepped down shortly before the Nevarran Accord brought the Seekers of Truth into the Chantry. He hunted demons, dragons, and dangerous apostates in a time before Templars even existed.
I'm all for history if it means tracking down the equipment of a famous demon hunter.
If the last Inquisitor has been missing for 800 years, it's only fitting that today's Inquisition help find him.
Your scouts have gathered artifacts from the area. They may help us discover what Inquisitor Ameridan was doing.
I have news as well. We've encountered hostile Avar to the north. They call themselves the Jaws of Hakon. There's also an Avar hold to the east. Unlike the Jaws of Hakon, they've been friendly so far.
The Jaws of Hakon?
They're hostile Avar who attack any Inquisition agents or researchers who get close. We've sent soldiers for defense, but the Hakonites are cunning, merciless, and know the basin better than we do. I'm afraid our men will not be able to hold out long.
I thought we could catch up.
Of course.
They say you grew up in a village. Where did you learn how to fight? Draw a bow? All that?
Here and there. You pick things up as a little dwarf girl in a village filled with piggish Ferelden boys. I'm no artist with a blade. I just know what hurts, and what takes them down quick. Bruised a shin or two in my day, and a few, you know, other things. And archery? Oh, there was a traveling hunter who set me up with my first bow, taught me the basics. After that, I practiced on my own. On squirrels, mostly. Oh, and Heinrich from next door, but only with padded arrows.
I hear you have family in Ferelden.
Yes, my mother and father. I insisted they moved to Denerim once I signed up with the Inquisition. Ambassador Montilier tells me I should invite them to Skyhold. She thinks they'd be proud of me. But after Haven, I just can't, you know? It's not that I don't trust you or our soldiers, it's just... I just want them to be safe. And if that means they don't get to see things firsthand, that's okay. My mother likes writing letters anyway.
What do you think about the Avar?
When I was a little girl, a lady in our village used to tell me Avar tales. Being able to see their lives up close, it's nothing like I thought. They're very tall, aren't they? I was considering a proposal for Commander Cullen. Avar allies with dwarven archers astride their shoulders. They'd be unstoppable.
Have you spoken to Kenrick much?
A bit. He's quite nice, isn't he? And clever. Really loves his books. I said hello one day while he had his nose buried in a giant tome. His shriek was a winner. I can't stop doing it now. It's too funny.
How do you like the Frostback Basin?
It's lovely, isn't it? At least until you step in a pile of bogfish or poo. The stuff's vile. It makes great fuel for starting fires, though, if you can tolerate the smell. I might suggest that to the commander. It could be great for sieges.
The commander would never go for it. He's too dignified.
You mean uptight? Sorry. Don't tell him I said that.
What are your thoughts about our progress against Corypheus?
The commander thinks we're as ready as we'll ever be, and that we should strike soon. I don't know what's gonna happen after. One step at a time. That's the only way to take this.
We'll continue this another time.
Safe travels.
Scout Harding has an impressive team. Her people brought back a number of artifacts.
If you need something tracked, Scout Harding is your woman.
If only it were that easy. After 800 years, we can't just look for tracks. Barring enchantment, cloth and leather will have long since rotted away. Only metal and stone remain recognizable. Complicating this are recent pieces the Avar left behind, and of course ancient pieces dating back to Tevinter. Fortunately, thanks to some period-specific buckling, I've been able to track our last Inquisitor.
You said there were pieces dating back to Tevinter.
Yes, While it's rare to see Tevinter ruins so far south, the Imperium once had an outpost of some sort here. They might have built it as a ritual site. I'm not sure what military value it could have. In any event, it's muddled up the research slightly, but I've accounted for it.
You lost me at buckling.
You'd think that a buckle was a buckle. But ever since people started belting on weapons, they've been adding bits. One piece here has a dragon engraving. With the alloys of the metals used, it's clearly Tevinter. While this one uses a clasp that wasn't invented until the dawn of the Elysian Empire. And when it comes to historical research, you might say we have to buckle down.
What do you have, Professor?
Everything so far points to the shore not far to the south. There was some sort of battle near the shoreline. They were in a hurry. The scouts reported an island near an Avar fishing camp. But the Avar won't say much about it.
What makes you think the last Inquisitor was fighting?
There's a clasp here common to armor links. It's clearly torn. That only happens from a heavy shearing blow, like large claws or an axe. Then there's the dagger. Silverite, with a stylized dragon pommel and an inscription reading Cordilis. That dagger had to be a gift from Cordilis Dracon, first Emperor of Orlais. No one would just lose such a thing.
What can you tell me about the Avar fishing camp?
Not much. It's the friendly Avar, not these jaws of Hakon barbarians. According to the scouts, they wouldn't say much about the area. Likely a local superstition.
I'll find a way to that island and see if there's anything useful there.
Excellent. I'll continue to study what's been found. With luck, we'll both find some answers. Also, one of my research assistants, Colette, was investigating an old structure to the north. I'm not certain it's related to our investigation, but it couldn't hurt to check with her.
What does the Kunari priesthood tell your people about losing the war?
The usual. Water comes, water goes, but eventually the tides wear away the mountain, blah, blah, blah.
They've been fighting Tevinter for centuries and still haven't won.
Wait, you think we've been at war all this time?
It's barely an eye-watering slap fight, I'll grant you, but every now and again it heats up.
That's just force of habit. A real invasion's different.
What are they waiting for?
Don't know. Someone to tell someone to tell someone it's on again, I guess.
I can spare some time. What do you need?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered.
Thanks.
Good afternoon.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
The Inquisitor's work is never done, I see.
I should go.
I do rather like watching you leave.
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
As you...
Yes. Far be it for me.
My dear, I know you must have a great deal on your mind right now, but I need to speak with you. You know as well as I how far the Inquisition's influence has spread, and how desperate the Grand Clerics have become. Our opinion will be instrumental in their election of the new Divine.
What do you suggest?
The Inquisition may not be invited to their vote, but our actions will certainly influence the Grand Clerics. To sit on the Sunburst throne, a candidate should have grace, charm, and a will of solid steel. Cassandra may lack the first two, but unless you can think of someone better, she is the strongest choice.
What would your ideal Divine do with her power?
The most important thing, of course, is the restoration of the Circles and the Templar Order. The institutions that have protected Thedas for ages must be rebuilt, and the malcontents utterly crushed. We cannot allow anarchists to threaten the lives of the innocent. After we have restored sanity to the world, there will be time to address voices of dissent.
Where can we find candidates outside of the Chantry? There must be someone other than Leliana or Cassandra.
The Chantry is already desperate. They would not look to unordained women if they had any choice. You may have better luck searching the halls of the Imperial Court. There are many women serving the Empire who have the necessary presence and acumen.
Leliana might be a better choice than Cassandra, don't you think?
Leliana is a well-meaning fool. She will do irreparable harm to countless people in the name of freedom. She proposes to abolish the Circles with nothing but a solemn promise from mages not to murder children. When an angry mage lashes out inside a tower, villages aren't destroyed. The Circle protects us all. Mages will die and take ordinary men with them in a war that cannot be won. Consider carefully, Inquisitor. Everything we do is a sign from the Maker to those who seek one. It's been quite the momentous day, hasn't it, my dear? How do you feel? It's not every day one absorbs ancient elven magic.
Actually, between the voices and the binding oath to a possibly demonic power, I'm a bit concerned.
Wise of you, Inquisitor. We cannot guess at what the lasting effects of the well might be. The Circle had little information about elven magic to begin with. Perhaps I'll speak to Dorian. Rest assured, we will find a way to circumvent whatever bargain you've made. The pieces are nearly in place. We'll soon strike against Corypheus directly. You've done well. I will be proud to fight alongside you when the time comes. Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
At your service, my lady. I'll leave you to your...
Samson took everything from those Templars. He corrupted their souls, twisted them into everything they stood against. Everything they would have hated.
You're letting Samson get to you.
And what if I am? The Red Lyrium left Samson's mind unaltered. He knew what he was doing. And he dares speak as though it were a mercy? The man's a monster. Dagna is far too kind a jailer for the likes of him.
Samson got what he deserved.
The men and women he betrayed, they deserved something better. Samson deserves nothing. The Red Templars needed to be torn down. We've broken Corypheus's army. I might have known some of them. If my life had gone differently, I might have been one of them. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you had not been at the Conclave? If you'd never become the Inquisitor?
Sometimes. My life would be less complicated, less dangerous.
Or it could be worse. There would still be chaos, and that was meant to sound comforting. I can see how it wouldn't. At all. You've led us this far. Many owe you their lives. Whether or not the Maker sent you, you are needed here. Was there something you needed?
That's all for now.
Should you require anything, I'll be here. It's just what I heard.
I can talk with you.
I'll talk to you later.
If you like. Of course.
I saw...
Glad I could bring the news about those Darkspawn, Inquisitor. Must have been a tough fight. Wish I'd seen it. Had a lull after. Shade went to Val Royeaux. Off, I don't know. I'll get into Cullen's Reserve yet, though. Not much else doing.
Something on?
I'd like to know more about you, now that you're comfortable.
Suppose. It's embarrassing enough now, may as well.
I think that after our rooftop chat, I get why you're not like other elves.
Well, don't. How about we dig into what you are? Or what you're supposed to be? Are you the humanist human? Can someone point and say, that's what they are? Because you could be more than just that. To me, anyway.
Didn't mean to poke at a sore spot. Consider it dropped.
Well, good then. Because that's the way I am. This way. You do this with everyone. Because I hope I'm not the only one that squirms like this. Feels weird.
We'll talk later.
If you say so.
Eclipsing the eye of the empire of we Orlesians. Empress of fire, what season may come, we fight for the day.
Hey, boss. How are you?
I'd like to hear more about the charges.
They're good. Riding high after we hit those Venatori. Glad they made it out alive, too. What do you want to know?
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Most of the charges are still at the Temple of Mythal. I'm Mr. Crazy Fine.
We'll talk later.
Drills upon drills. Familiarity.
What do you need, my friend?
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Stop following me.
I haven't taken a step.
So it's done?
Just about. The little ones in the camps don't have much. I thought this might cheer them up. Even in the midst of war, they deserve to be children.
It's almost time. Are you ready?
I am. I've been ready for a long time. Things become clear on the battlefield. It's where I truly know myself. Everything else fades.
Shouldn't you at least pretend to be afraid of Corypheus? He is an ancient Magister Darkspawn with untold power.
There is fear, but also exhilaration. There has always been one constant. I am a soldier. I am trained to kill, to follow orders, and to ask no questions. But this time, I'm fighting for something I believe in. The people I care about. I chose to stay with the Inquisition. I chose this fight. And the difference is profound. I have only you to thank. The war in Olay has claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
Your worship.
Inquisitor?
Mix and match, pick your back.
Serve the lord who loaded his catapults with anvils. Point made.
Inquisitor.